I've got a little problem. My dental floss is stuck in my braces and I can't get it out. It's completely stuck. I'll be back. In this video, I'm going to share an update on the progress of my teeth movement. Now, it's only been 3 months, but the progress so far is actually pretty amazing. I'm quickly going to go through all of the names of the teeth and the numbers because I think it's going to help when it comes to me actually talking about my own teeth, instead of me going this one here and pointing. The 2 front ones in the middle are called central incisors, these 2. And if we go from the front to the back, central incisors number 8, number 7, lateral incisor. Next one along, which are my very pointy Dracula teeth, those are the cuspid, so that's number 6. First bicuspid is number 5, and I think these are the ones that I've got the bite turbos on. Yeah. Second bicuspid is number 4. Then we have number 3, which is the first molar. Then we have the second molar, and then we have the third molar, and they go 1, 2, 3. Then we have second bicuspid, number 4, third bicuspid, number 5. Then we have the cuspid, number 6. Then we have lateral incisor, number 7, and then we have central incisor, number 8. And they will count all the way down on the right hand side exactly the same, but just being the right hand versus the left hand. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about my teeth. In the first 2 months, most of the movement was actually happening behind the scenes at the back of the upper jaw here, where I've got those big gaps. And that's where the teeth are actually slowly moving together. And that's what I got the power chains for originally. That would help close those 2 gaps that I got at the top. And because my teeth were moving backwards here, I developed a gap between my second bicuspid and my cuspid. So that'll be 6 and 5 if you follow the diagram. And the 2 teeth to the left and right of my front teeth, my lateral incisors, were starting to move downwards. There was not a lot of movement happening with my bottom teeth at this moment, and that kind of was to be expected because, as it turns out, what the orthodontist is actually trying to do is to correct my overbite first before she starts moving my front bottom teeth. And I know this because when I went to the orthodontist for that emergency appointment, when I actually accidentally pushed the wire out of that back bracket when I was trying to eat some healthy cucumber, I took the opportunity to ask the orthodontist how long I would actually have my bite turbos in, because eating has actually been a bit of a challenge. Anyway, so she explained to me that the reason I've got the bite turbos in is because she's trying to correct the overbite, which is something I already knew. And she took a look at my teeth and she said, oh yeah, we'll probably need to have the bite turbos in just a little bit longer. I think she was just trying to put me at ease, because I think I'm going to have these bite turbos for quite a bit longer. I want to give you an update on my first orthodontic adjustment appointment that I had a few weeks ago. My orthodontist took a look at my teeth and she said that they would actually keep the current wire in place because I still have quite a bit of teeth movement that has to be achieved before they move me up to the thicker wire. But even though I was keeping the same wire, they would refresh all of the little elastics or the rubber ligatures that are going around each bracket. And I'll show you those little rubber bands in a moment because it's quite interesting. I was also a little surprised to hear that my orthodontist was saying that I was going to get some little steel ties put around some of my teeth on my bottom jaw. I didn't know that steel ties were a thing. The orthodontist also mentioned that I would be getting a new power chain, and this time from my cuspid all the way to the back, to pull a gap open so that this little lateral incisor could come further forward and fill the gap. Once the orthodontist explained what needed to happen, the orthodontic assistant went to work and started to remove all of the rubber ligatures around the brackets. And oh my goodness, I was not prepared for how much that hurt. I'd seen YouTube videos of people recommending that you take a painkiller ahead of your adjustment appointment, and I completely forgot to do that. I was feeling so smug up until this point about not having much pain since I've had my braces on. But when each of the little rubber ligatures was removed, it felt like my tooth was being ripped out of my head. It hurt. And the pain was even worse when she was putting the new rubber ligatures around each bracket. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I will definitely take painkillers before my next appointment. And then came the wires, and at this point I was breaking it. But they were not as painful to put on as the rubber ligatures. I got wire ties around 4 teeth at the bottom here. When I got home, I did a bit of research into why I might need steel wire ties instead of rubber ligatures, and I found out that they're sometimes used to give your teeth a more secure hold. So the steel tie transmits the force from the arch wire into your tooth and helps it move along the arch wire instead of actually rotating the tooth. Now this makes a bit of sense to me because I've got quite a bit of crowding on my bottom front here. After I got my rubber ligatures changed and my power chains on, I asked the orthodontist assistant if she would trim my wires on the top left there because they were poking me again, and she did that for me and we were good to go. And the whole adjustment appointment was done and dusted in under half an hour. I asked the orthodontist assistant if I could keep the little rubber ligatures that she removed because I wanted to show you something. So the night before my adjustment appointment, I decided to have a curry for my dinner because I knew if the curry stained my ligatures, it wouldn't matter because I was going to get them all replaced the following day at my adjustment appointment. But first, let me remind you what they looked like when I first got them put on. And this is what they looked like after the curry. But this just goes to show the clear ligatures are going to stain no matter how careful you are. Let's look at my teeth. After the first month, there was a little bit of movement on my lateral incisors. They'd lowered down a little bit. The one on the right still has a bit of movement that needs to happen, but you can see my teeth were definitely moving even after 4 weeks. So fast forward to today.
So you can see that the power chain is closing the gap at the back, but at the same time opening a gap at the front for my lateral incisor to move into. This lateral incisor is actually moving sideways and forwards out from behind my front tooth.
I'm also going to go for my first dental clean since I got my braces, so that will be really good because as much as you try to keep your braces clean, unfortunately they are going to get a bit gunky, and as you can see, flossing is not the best experience. Oh my goodness, flossing is frustrating. And as I'm talking to you, I think the inside of my lip here is getting all cut up. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's definitely getting a bit sore, so I'm going to go put on some orthodontic wax.